Welcome to the Doan Brook. In a very unusual year, 2020, we adapted our programming to virtual and socially distant platforms, updated our website, and wrote a number of grants. We were lucky to be awarded $960,000, which contributes to the $2,800,000 and change that has been awarded to the partnership since the beginning of the Sewer District's Watershed Service Agreement program. First up, we had to bid farewell to Andrew Closter, our Watershed Program Coordinator, as he moved to Denver, but we welcomed a fantastic new employee, Elizabeth Smith, on October 1 in his place. One of the most important elements incorporated into our work plan in response to 2020 events was the articulation of our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Over several weeks, the entire staff and board wrote, edited, and reviewed the following commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. DBWP believes that Black Lives Matter and that the time to end systemic racism is now. Racism persists in our community through a legacy of redlining, disparities in health outcomes, an unjust and biased justice system, diminished and unequal educational and employment opportunities, polluted waterways, toxic soils, treeless asphalt expanses, and extreme urban heat. DBWP takes responsibility to advance racial equity within our watershed and the communities we serve through restoring our watershed and soils, planting trees, and connecting people to the nature in our community. We commit to listen, to learn, and to question actions that thwart progress toward inclusion and understanding. We also commit to reviewing our policies and best practices for diverse board composition, hiring, and collaboration. We look forward to working together to heal Doan Brook Watershed and the communities and individuals who live within it. We invite you to dialogue with us about the change we desperately need and how we can achieve it. Please add your voice to our website's community forum entitled Voices of the Brook. In the next few slides, you'll see our activities in planning, restoration, and green infrastructure. Our only green infrastructure project this year was Andrew restoring our South Park bioswale. This year we completed the Parklands Management Plan, which really just looks at the central section of our Doan Brook watershed and prescribes management best practices for the various sections that you see in the map below. Thanks to funding from St. Luke's Foundation, we completed an access study to look at how Woodhill, Buckeye, and Mount Pleasant neighborhoods can better connect to Doan Brook and the Parklands. This year we were fortunate to receive a 319 project to restore 600 linear feet at Sawinski Park in the middle of the watershed. Contiguous to the 319 project, we also received funding to connect Doan Brook to more of its floodplain at Sawinski Park, hoping to capture more stormwater and prevent floods in the future. This was a grant from the new match fund from the Sewer District. Though we completed our gorge habitat project this year, a big flood blew out one side of it and we had to apply for additional funding to restore the brand new fish passage friendly wreck. We continue to proudly serve on the Central Lake Erie Basin Collaborative Steering Committee. We still manage to have a lot of fun and hopefully impart watershed wisdom this year. Our stream cleanup weekend was converted to a month-long individual challenge in which our community spanned across the watershed and collected all manner of trash and documented it, everything from big car tires to small random dentures found along the Doan Brook. All in all, we have documented 4,444 pieces of trash thanks to all of the amazing volunteers who helped us that spring cleanup. When we couldn't hold a tree planting, we held a tree auction. Tree cookies were auctioned to raise money for future plantings after a large oak was destroyed in the past microburst. Unfortunately, we can't add another 2 acres to the 5 acres of wetlands restored since the sewer district began funding us. But we have completed a nice video to educate folks on all of the Lake Erie direct estuaries, and hopefully it will serve as a resource to the Metro Parks planning initiative called Cheers, now studying the lakefront. They have not determined whether an estuary is something that is appropriate for Gordon Park North or some other use. So participate in the study and stay tuned. We could not hold our annual family fishing day this year, of course, but we were able to increase the number of fish stockings that we offer at Rockefeller Lagoon and Rockefeller Park. And consequently, folks have really taken advantage of a safe way to spend time along the Doan Brook. Thanks to a grant from Holden Parks Trust, you can see that there are lots of happy fisher people with big, tall tails of big catches along the lagoon. We had a number of storm drain stenciling events. It was a safe way to get folks out and in the watershed, and they were super popular. We had more storm drains stenciled this year than in many previous years, a total of 789 stencils throughout the watersheds of Doan and Dugway. As well, we had a number of rain barrel workshops and, of course, stewardship days in which we removed invasive species. Thankfully, one of the things we could do this year safely was get outside and hike. And so we held hikes in every season, in person and also virtually. All-weather, multi-talented Friends of Lower Lake volunteers contributed over 1,500 hours of volunteer effort toward removing invasives and planting close to 400 live stakes and another 200 trees, which only contributed to our 840 trees that we've planted since 2009. Both in spring and fall, Doan Brook got hit quite hard with flooding this year. Consequently, we had residents reach out for site visits at their home, helping them manage stormwater on their properties. We would like many more, so we encourage folks to give us a call at the number on the slide. Thanks for listening, and we invite you to reach out and learn more at our new website, doanbrookpartnership.org. Thanks, take care.